Hello and welcome to the SurveYOUR podcast with James Baker and John Lever. Two chartered surveyors embarking upon a social media journey, locked in a virtual room with nothing better to do than to discuss everything surveying. And some things not.
Hi everyone, we're back. Welcome to the first and last podcast of 2023. Where have we been? Anyway, John, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I can't believe we blinked and something's happened. I've grown a beard. Did I have a beard at the beginning of 2023? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Is it a year ago? Lots happened, John.
Yeah, lots happened. We'll have to chat it through. But yeah, my goodness, where has it gone? But it's nice to be back because I think, do you know what? I've really missed this.
Yes, so have I.
And just the opportunity just to catch up because I mean we've known each other for years, but catch up and we've hardly spoken all year.
No.
It's sort of like I've lost part of me, a piece of me, and one of my fingers has fallen off or something. And you've been missing in my life. So here we are, we're back,
and we're back. Yeah,
it's all good. So cool. So what we're gonna chat around today?
Well, I think we'll just do a general 2023 roundup, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think that would make sense.
I mean, there's a lot happened. I can't remember half of it. I struggle to remember what happened yesterday. But you know, we'll just kind of keep going and we'll do our usual rambling and see what happens. But yeah,
absolutely.
all about the year. So it's been an eventful year, I think. Lots of stuff's kicked off, personally, professionally. It's a blur. Who knows where 2023, the year that never happened. In some respects, it's done me in. I'm broken.
Yeah, to tell the truth, I am suitably tired, and it might be because I was up at 6 o'clock this morning at the gym, or it might just be that it's just been a manic year. Do you know, I asked my kids the other day. I might have said this before, and I said to them, I said because everyone goes, oh, when you get older, the time passes quicker, and my kids, they're sort of late teens, and I said to them, I said, so how's 2023 been for you? Is it kind of whistled by or has it just been ticking along nicely? Because I don't know about you, but when I was their age, I was some sort of feral child outside. And as long as you were back before the street lights came on, no one really cared about you, sort of thing. So you're always out and about doing stuff. But they said, oh, no, it's really quick. It's gone really quick. And do you know what it is? I think it's because they've got their heads in these funny mobile phones that they don't seem to be getting. I took my kids on a long journey the other day, and for 6 hours, my 16-and-a-half-year-old didn't look up from her phone.
Wow.
You know, now if that was me, I would have got car sick. I would have thought. But
I would have felt terrible. That's not healthy. That isn't. That's just no.
What can you do?
What can you do?
I mean, if you take it off them, it's like slitting the throat. So
yeah.
I mean,
there's certainly an issue with that, isn't there? But we'll not get into that because we could go on and
that's another podcast for another day.
Probably just go on and on about
the moral of that story is
anyway. Before we go any further, because I heard it as well, and all the people listening will have heard it. You've been to the gym this morning.
I did, yeah. I started going to the gym it's got to be about 8 months ago. So I go 3 times a week in the morning. It's ridiculous because I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've never been a morning person. And this morning, my alarm went off and I woke up with a start thinking I'd missed the gym. So naturally, I didn't look at my watch. I just asked Alexa what the time was. And she said it was 6 o'clock. So I calmed down again and off I went to the gym. It's having absolutely no effect at all. And other than three mornings a week, as I get older though, it keeps me a bit mobile, so you know how it is. For all those old people out there listening to us, I have noticed that I can pick up heavier things, and I have noticed that the old muscle tone's a bit better, but I haven't lost any weight, and still walking around with a sporting a keg. So so hopefully at some point, I think what it needs is you need to go to the gym and stop eating. I think that's probably
well. I think that depends on what it is that you're actually doing at the gym as well. And
it's serious stuff, mate. It's like 45 minutes of full-on cardio and weights and stuff. And I come away from there broken every day.
Yeah, well,
time I go. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. But and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's like a group of 6 of us, and a trainer. So it's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's nice to get if you don't go, you feel you've missed out, sort of thing. So, So yeah, it's a
Well,
nice
that's
boost.
good because that means you've got that, and that will keep you going back. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
yeah,
I,
no. So
I
yeah, so there
too.
you go. So what have you been to the gym?
Well, I too. No, I don't go. I hate gyms. So, but I too have started exercising. It took me till October this year to start actually do any exercise.
Right, okay.
But I have started exercising regularly. Just on my watt bike in the garage. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
doing a good hour or so each time, and
Yeah,
at least once a week, just giving myself a bit of
yeah, it's
a
good.
beasting, and it's got a little bit easier, and it's been
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
because
Well, you're not
it's
getting any younger either, are you?
I'm not. I turned 45 in November, and I'm
45.
not getting any
Bless
younger.
you, you small child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not getting any younger, so need
No,
to need
no,
to be mindful that I've got two young kids, and I've spent a
yeah,
good period of, as always, with a bad back. So, and it's been giving me a bit of jip in the last week or so as well. So,
yeah.
but although it's not as bad as it was back in September, I think that was the thing that made me exercise. September, I was about crippled with my back. I couldn't. I woke up one morning, I couldn't get out of bed.
It's weird, isn't it? And the thing is as well, people never believe you because it doesn't look like it. There's nothing,
No, but
it looks like a big cut in your face or
I
something.
literally couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah,
And I got, when I eventually managed to roll out of bed or something in agony, and I was laying on the floor and I couldn't get up. And George, my eldest, just there, and he was like, "Are you okay, Daddy?" And I was like, "No, George, not really. Not really." And then for about a day or so afterwards, he'd say, "Daddy can't move. Daddy can't get up." It's like, "No, I can't. I'm in absolute, honestly, I was in absolute bits. It was terrible." And that was a good few
so
days.
what had you done?
I it was it was my own fault. So I don't want to go back over the whole story, but I injured my lower back where the spine joins the pelvis.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I I'd not been exercising, but I'd been lifting or doing things,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I knew that my I get tension in my muscles in my hamstrings and my lower back and things, and if I don't stretch it out, and obviously then go to bed, it will be quite tight the next morning. And it was my own fault because I went to bed that evening knowing full well that it was probably going to be a bit, but I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, and it was honestly days worth of struggling to actually move.
Yeah.
Um, in
Well,
fact, yeah.
the cycling does that good though, I would have thought,
Oh
because
no, yeah, the
that's
cycling's
all
good for it. No,
perfect.
really, yeah. Which is why I started cycling all those years ago rather than running, because
And
the
so
running was less.
you did road cycling and everything though, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I'm a fair weather cyclist though, so I don't. At this time of
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
I'd rather in my garage on a bike
yeah.
and
With
just
with an iPad watching a movie
yeah,
or
with an
something.
iPad going in a virtual world.
Oh, okay, very good, very
Yeah,
good.
we compete. There's other people in it. It's not just me.
Oh, okay. It's a bit like,
Um,
oh, is it a bit like that? What do they call it? The Peloton thing or whatever they.
yeah, so it's like I use Zwift, so there's like loads of people out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I've
So I
heard of
do,
it.
I do, I do get into races and things like that. I mean, I'm not trying to beat anybody because I'm rubbish, but it just gives me that bit of competition, that bit of hunger to kind of just push myself a bit further,
Yeah.
really.
The
So
internet world, eh? You're just sitting there
internet world, I go
all on your
cycling in the
own,
internet world.
no
It's
social life.
far better than going out in the cold and wet, John.
You absolutely hate people, and it's just you're there all on your own with your
That's
virtual
it.
friends.
That's it. Don't have to talk to them.
Yeah,
No, and nobody thinks you're rude.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, wasn't that always made me smile. You know, when COVID first happened, people you cross the road to avoid other people, and no one thought it was rude anymore.
During COVID times. Oh yeah.
So do you think 2023 has been the year of forgetting and ignoring COVID?
Oh yeah. What's that?
I tell you, how many times did you catch it?
To my knowledge, I've had it once.
Yeah, I had it once in last year. Was it
I think it was
2024?
22 or
Yeah, in
21.
August 22, I remember
When
because
I
we
had
did a
it, I
road
know
show.
it wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people saying they've got it now, but
Yeah, it seems a much milder version though, doesn't it?
yeah,
So
it's a
thankfully
cold and
people
it's
aren't
just like the flu now.
yeah, yeah. And have you had your jabs?
I mean, I had them way back when. I've had two, or whatever it was, when two or three or something. I'm done there. I don't need any more.
I keep getting asked now because I'm old enough. I keep getting hassled for going and having the flu jab, and I ought to go and do it, but then my biggest mistake, lesson learned for everybody, never have the COVID jab in one arm and the flu jab in the other on the same
Oh,
day.
now, and my
On a
father,
Monday when you've got a busy week. Yeah,
yeah,
that was the biggest
I
mistake I
think,
made.
yeah, I think my father-in-law did the same. He had one in each arm, and it was like
I was beasted for the weekend. I really was. It was. I was out at clients. I wasn't out at clients. It was online stuff, and it was just like, oh, I'm glad I'm not actually out your office and everything. And are you finding you're getting out and about now more as well? Because I've got clients asking me to go out to their offices.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. I've been doing that for what seems like a long time now, but yeah, all the time. I mean, to be fair, we have to service
That's
projects
true.
and
Yeah.
survey buildings. We have to go out and about. So yeah, that's been like that for a long time now, though. I can't remember the last time we really even considered any,
Yes,
problems
I
with.
guess my world's slightly different to yours, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're predominantly obviously web based and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're out all the time.
Cool. All right. So list the things that's changed in 2023 for you that, or not changed, things that have happened over the year for you. So
I
you
mean,
got you
mostly I
hurt your back in
feel.
September. So what that's quite recent. So what did
That
you
was
do?
quite recent. I struggle to remember much further
Have
past
you
that, but
have you not employed people this year?
I have employed people this year. I'm going through a process of hopefully of employing some more people. Business is growing. That's probably why I've just disappeared in a flash this year because I've
Tell the
just been
truth,
that
that's one of the
busy.
reasons I think, yeah, we've both been quite aloof, is
Yeah,
because
but it's been a good year. Everybody says that. And I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, yeah, the best year ever," because everybody says that, don't they? And everybody forgets about the rubbish, which is right, as you should do. You should focus on the positives. There's been some challenges, but it's been a decent year, really. From a business point of view, we've grown. We're expanding. We've moved offices. Finally, I launched the website. I've been on many other. This is the thing. I've done about two or three other podcasts and interviews and things. I've been on the radio.
have you?
Yeah, I've
I
done
didn't know
also.
that.
Yeah.
Ah. So
And
what were
and
you on the
and that
radio
that
for?
it was a we I've been using we've engaged services as a PR consultant, and so they've like kind of got
Signed you
opportunities
up for
with
stuff.
stories and things like that. And then yeah, I got invited to do a radio show. It wasn't live, it was recorded, but it was in a proper radio studio and everything. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
only like a local radio
Yeah, yeah, but
station,
I
but
mean
it was
that's an experience in itself,
yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
it's great. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was like I think it was about 35 minutes or something, but yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah.
And it reminded me how much I missed the podcast. And then I've been on somebody else's podcast. Loved that. Done interviews, done video interviews and stuff with people. And yeah, just it's been busy. And yeah, just and each time I did anything like that, I was like, oh, I missed the podcast.
And here we are, we're back, which is great. That's fantastic. Cool. So
So what about you? I mean, you've been
yeah,
obviously.
massively busy. So right, let's think back to January. So did take on new member of staff just back into last year. So they've been with us a year now.
Really that long?
Yeah, lost one member of staff as well who went off to do something
Yes.
else, which was a shame because she was excellent, but she wanted to go and do something else, which is fine. Went with our blessing. Then yeah, I mean, apprenticeships have been growing. I think it's because we're getting to that point where they're all coming through for assessment now. So from an apprenticeship perspective, we've had quite a lot of clients approach us. Just, I think what it's down to, and I don't want to go off into apprenticeships for a conversation. I think that's a whole nother bag
Yeah.
for us another day. But I think what it's down to is, people just realizing that the back end of the process is a little bit difficult. And the APC is not meant to be easy, and apprentices actually waking up to that as well. So we've been very busy with that. Let's think, what else have we
I
been?
coached some successfely through their some
Yeah.
apprentices
Oh,
through just to put that out there.
yeah. No, no, you've done very well for us. Yeah, thank you for that. And just what else did we sort out? So over a period of time, I mean, just more recently, I've acquired a Can-Am.
A what?
A Can-Am. Do you know what a Can-Am is?
I've no idea.
You're gonna have to Google it. I'm not going to tell you.
A
So,
can.
and also went to Euro Disney just this last week with the kids, which was great fun.
Uh,
I'm not set up for going to Euro Disney and walking however many thousands of miles over 3 days.
an off-road vehicle.
No, it's not off road. It's a road vehicle. You can drive it with a driver's license. Hence why I did it because I would
That
never.
looks very much like a buggy.
Well, it's kind of a back to front trike.
Oh, okay. There's lots of different types here, you see.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I should have said a Can-Am Riker.
Okay. Ah,
So
there we go.
Yeah,
Riker and trikes.
yeah. So it's like a snowmobile with wheels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
very exciting. And a friend of mine and I sort of thought about it and needed to cheer ourselves up because we were too busy and everything. So we bought one each.
Oh,
So yeah. So it very
have you gone brand new or second hand?
no, we went brand new because I wanted something with a warranty because I've got old cars. I've got two old cars that are worth
Oh,
about £1,000, and they,
well, that looks good fun, that does.
yeah, absolutely. I'm going to leave it there, so other people are going to have to look it up. So a Can-Am Ryker 900 Sport, I think it was called. It's about 80 horsepower, and I bottled it at 50, basically. So yeah,
Oh,
so
you must stick to the speed limit though, John.
well, it was in a 60 zone, don't worry. But yes, so that's as fast as I'm willing to go on it. So yes, did that. What else have we been up to? Yeah, just very busy. Just thinking of other. Oh, yeah, I had an excursion out to no, where is it? Cornwall. So I went and spoke at
Oh yes.
Cornwall Matrix. That was
Yes,
fun.
and I couldn't make my diary work,
Oh
sadly.
yes, that's right. You were going to come down, weren't you? And we were going to do
Yeah.
a podcast then. That was what, August,
That
September.
was August, yeah, back end of August or
Yeah,
something, yeah.
so that was nice to go and talk at Matrix there. I've had another one. A few Matrix groups approach me, so that's quite nice to get out and about. I think I'm due to. I haven't responded to them, so if they're listening to this, my hugest apologies. But I need to pop down and see Matrix in Brighton as well at
Oh,
some point,
cool.
which is nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's lovely to get out.
I went to a Matrix event in when was it? That must have been about September time or something. Maybe October in Derby, which was nice to go and see a
Oh
few
yeah,
of them, and it was a good event actually. I quite enjoyed it. Felt old, but
yeah,
it was good to have a good chat with a few of them, and it was a decent attendance because they've obviously all started,
yeah.
coming, rising from the ashes again, and that's
Indeed.
good news.
Yeah,
But I do think there's one elephant in the room that we should address, John, because probably listeners, those of them who might be a bit later to the podcast and maybe have got up to date and then they were waiting for another episode desperately and they've been waiting a year or however that might be. But those that remember, we did proclaim that we would do a road show in 2023.
we did.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't.
Well, I did. You didn't bother turning up.
You went and did one road show. I mean, come on, one. Okay, it was
But
more
no,
than I
it's
did, but I mean,
and
come on,
I have to
it
say,
was.
kindly, at least five people have offered their location, and we do definitely in
We will
we will
revisit this.
revisit that. Yeah, because I've actually missed that. And talking of Matrix, we ought to also mention our good friend Sammy Nick, uh,
Sammy Nick.
who's heading up Matrix, isn't he? Is he the chair?
I think he's just taken on become. I think he might have just become the chair in the Northeast in Newcastle. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. So he's doing very, very well. So hi, Sammy. If you
Also, let's also say well done to Sam for winning an award at the Surveyor of the Year Awards
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
It was
absolutely.
Mentor of the Year he won, wasn't it? I think.
I can't remember. It's
Yeah, it was
how
Mentor of the
much
Year. So,
attention we're paying
so
to it,
when
guys.
you're listening to this, because hopefully you still listen, Sam, and we will get you back on the podcast.
Yeah.
But congratulations and well done, because thoroughly deserved for all the stuff he's done around his APC work,
Oh, it's done
revision
absolutely
group and
cracking.
things.
Yeah.
Absolutely deserved award. So well done there, Sammy Nick.
Yeah, no, indeed. And I guess that's one of the things that if we think about 2024 for a moment, it'd be nice to get in touch with these matrix groups and get them coming on board. I know the Cornwall group would love to come and have a chat on a podcast and tell us what they're up to. So that might be quite a nice little series that we'll have
Any
to
excuse to go to Cornwall, John?
well, indeed, or we might do it virtually. So they'll
Well,
just
or we could do it virtually. Yeah, we could do some of them virtually. I am actually going on holiday to Cornwall in August, so
are you?
I am. I
Oh,
am already
maybe we should
booked.
coordinate diaries then. Where are you going? Can I come?
We're Newquay. We're going to Newquay,
Oh,
so we're staying near the golf course in Newquay. So yeah,
very nice. Very nice. And
couple of
I have
weeks.
to say, I was only down there for a week, but I managed to do it all.
Yeah,
So,
we've got a couple of weeks down there, so
yeah,
looking
I
forward
did a
to it.
lot of driving that week, but it was really lovely to go and
I
see.
intend to not do a lot of driving when I
Yeah.
go down there, which is why we're in Newquay so that we can get to know. We'll go out on some day trips, but yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
you've got youngsters as well, haven't you? So the beach will be a draw. And
beach is pretty much all
yeah.
that we want.
I now, are you a sandcastle man or a hole digging man?
Ooh, I'm a hole digging man.
Yeah, I am as well. I
I
think
love digging a hole,
it's a bit
and
of
the
a
kids
weird.
love a good hole to
Yeah,
go and
yeah,
play in.
yeah. I last time I went to the beach, I actually took a proper shovel.
Wow.
That's my commitment.
I haven't done that.
And it was
I've just,
that
I've
big. I
made
actually
sure
had
that
to
the
fill it
kids have,
in. I had to
yeah,
fill it
see,
in before we left because it was
I've,
too big.
you got to fill it in. I always fill it in out before I leave.
Yeah,
I always make sure that the kids have just got at least one decent spade
yeah,
and then
yeah,
go with that.
yeah, yeah. It was one of those fold down ones that you have in the car for in case of snow, and it does just as well in sand.
Oh, funny that.
Yeah, yeah. So no, all good. So yeah, so 2023 for me, it's been a bit manic, mad, busy, and like you, absolutely sort of rushed off our feet. We've got a few new things that we're thinking of doing in 2024. So we've got a new website that I'm kind of working on, hopefully get that done. We've also got something called the ABC Management Pack. So
Mm,
looking at the new assessment platform, and everyone seems to be on different templates and not paying attention. So this will be here's everything you need all in one page on a web page
mm.
to explain what you should be doing. So that's something that I'm working on at the moment that should be launched soon. Oh, I'm gonna have to tell everybody because it's a bit of a blatant advert here. We've got our 12 days of Christmas starting on Christmas Day, and we're giving away £3,000 worth of stuff.
And you should have said that like this is Christmas Day, John, although obviously we wouldn't record a podcast
Well,
on Christmas
indeed,
Day,
yes.
but this
Yeah.
is going out on
This
Christmas
is
Day.
going to go out on Christmas Day. So if you're here listening to this on Christmas Day, why?
Go and get a
Here
life.
listening to this on Boxing Day, you've missed one day already of the 12 days of Christmas. But yes, go and have a look at our website. So it's just deleve.com/12 days. And because we're giving away, on the first day you get this, on the second day you get two of those, on the third day you get three of these. That's how it works. Hence why, there's lots of things. There's like discounts off mocks and what else are we doing? You can get free access to the road shows and all those sort of things. So lots of exciting stuff.
Oh, really good.
Sorry for the blatant ad right in the middle of there, but I think we should do more of that anyway. But
I
anyway,
expect no less of you, John.
no, indeed. So 2024. So what are we going to do in 2024 on the podcast, do you think?
Yeah, what are we going to do on the podcast? I mean, I think we'll obviously try and consider the road show and pick
Yes.
that up and try and do something around that if we can. We've got to obviously spend a bit of time planning this. I will get some old guests back, I think, and
I think we need Mr. Henning in for the
we
first one.
do need to get Mr. Henning back. Yeah,
That'd be a
absolutely.
tradition that we would not want to break.
Start of the New Year's predictions.
Yes.
Yes, we do. We should probably do that.
Predictions for 2024. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think I'd have any. I've got any.
I don't think I've got any, but
We'll
yeah,
see what we come up with.
we'll see what we come up with. And yeah, I think we should get Michael back, and Sammy Nick will get back involved as well,
Yep.
obviously. And then yeah, a few others, maybe some other guests that we've had on previously. Get them back in, see what they're up to. There's one or two that back in 2022, I think we said, "Oh yeah, come on the podcast," and then we obviously didn't record anything. So
Yeah.
IO being one of those. So apologies, IO, if you're listening, because I did promise you, I think at Young Surveyor in November 2022, and you never did come on the podcast because we didn't record any. So apologies there, but we will get you on, and we'll have to revisit some of
We had a
those.
big list of things, lots of guests, lots of
Yes.
ideas, lots of thoughts. Do you know what? I was just looking, as we haven't podcasted anything in 2023, I thought we'd look at the stats. And we still had over 3,500 downloads
Wow.
over 2023. So thank you to
Well,
everybody
yeah, all of those
who's
listening.
still
Thank
been
you
involved. And
very
obviously,
much.
as you can see on the screen over here or whatever, we're up to about 22,000. I just thought it'd be nice to, I mean, I'm not interested in any competitions or anything. I just thought it'd be nice to give people a heads up of, what people are listening to.
It
And do
still
you know what?
amazes me. It still amazes me, John, that we just do this because we enjoy it. It still
Oh,
amazes me people
absolutely.
listen to it. And the fact that there's 22,000 downloads suggests that there's 22,000 different people that have listened to it. Obviously, not probably different because that's across many different episodes, but there's still probably thousands of people that have listened to this podcast, which is
Yeah.
quite remarkable, really.
Yeah.
They're quite happy just to listen to us ramble away.
I know our podcast predictor is saying that at least 400 are going to download next month, which is lovely. Maybe a bit more because we're going to be pushing this out. And you know what? Our highest downloaded by a long way by what's that, 9? So by
It's going
300.
to be an APC one, isn't it?
It was, yeah, it was the assessor feedback, which was an hour and a half. Do you
An hour
remember?
and a half, and that's
We
the
went on
most
for an hour and a half
downloaded.
ranting about the assessments, and that was a year ago. So we ought to, we'll have to revisit that one as well, because I'm sure there's more to rant on about there. So, but yes, it's so, and then we obviously rules of conduct has been quite an interesting one as well. So yeah, so great. I mean, just these. I think we need to just, big thank you to everyone who's
Oh
stayed
yeah,
with us and who's found us, I guess, in
yeah.
2023. Hopefully you've
Thanks
enjoyed
for
it.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for listening. It is appreciated. Because we'd probably still do it, as we've said before, if nobody listened. But it is nice that people do listen.
Yes, do you know that is something we did say at the beginning, and do you know I agree with you. I don't really care if anyone listens or not. This is just great fun. Just nice to meet up and chat
Yeah, that's it.
and and see where we get to. So 2024 going to be a busy one. I think both work and obviously podcast. We were getting up to nearly publishing one a week. I think we'll be a bit slower than that to get us
I
back.
think it will be a bit slower than that.
So I don't want everyone to think, oh, we're going to get a podcast every day from us. You're not. It's not going to happen.
You're
But we
not,
will
people.
we will try and
You are not. We are not promising that.
yeah, that's it. One a month, I think, would be a nice thing to start with.
Yeah, if we do more than that, great.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we'll have to book in some batch recordings, John,
Yes, I think so as well. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you, obviously, we had our sign off, didn't we? Was it
we did. We
was it
did. Well,
wash your
bearing in
hands,
mind
wash
this
your face?
podcast started, so the podcast started in 2020, didn't it?
It
December
did, yeah,
2020 when we first
yeah,
recorded, which was obviously the height of COVID, the COVID era, shall we call it?
yes, yeah,
And we did have our sign off, which was a nice little end to the podcast.
yeah.
But I know we've had kind of chatted about this. I mean, my view is that I think it's now it needs to be we need a new sign off. I don't think it's relevant anymore.
I'm coming to that kicking and screaming. I have to say, I'm still
Yeah,
going back a little bit because I mean, if people have not heard it, you must have heard it if you've listened to it. But if this is the first one you heard, it was it wash your face, wash your hands, and don't lick any
don't
strangers.
lick any
I
strangers.
just still think that's hilariously funny, but that's because I'm old and like dad jokes. But maybe we need to put it out there as a bit of a Do you want to do a competition? We could do a competition, couldn't
We
we?
could do a competition, but
Do a
obviously,
prize
if we
draw.
don't like it, we'll not use it.
Well, no,
So
no, no, indeed. I was just thinking. Oh, something else. I have forgot to mention. Forgot to mention. I've got into quite a bit of 3D printing, and I was thinking we could print a Surveyor podcast trophy.
a trophy.
Yeah. So we could have competitions where you win one of our Surveyor podcast trophies. A bit like the blankety blank checkbook and pen, absolutely useless. No one really wants it, but the fact you've got one, it's a bit like a Blue Peter badge as well.
Yeah, like Bully from Bullseye for those that are old
Yeah,
enough to
yeah,
remember.
yeah, of course, yeah. So I was just thinking it'd be quite nice. We could do a Surveyor podcast. I could design and print a trophy that we could give away for
Oh
the
yeah.
best suggestion. So we could do that, couldn't we? People could either drop something in the comments in the podcast, or they could drop us an email. Just send it to me, John at deliver.com. No H in the John, of course, Jon at deliver.com. If you've got any suggestions of what our strapline could be. Have you got into AI just out of interest?
I certainly have.
Yeah, I've been messing around with AI and both graphically and also text based.
So I've been using it from a text point of view, and not obviously to write reports or anything for
Yeah,
my
yeah,
clients, but for other things that we do as in the business that I've used
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I needed to update my CV the other day. So I said to it, executive level CV layout, please. And it whoosh, there it was. It was like, yeah, like that bit, didn't like that bit, and put it together. So
Yeah.
quite useful. So what I will do is I will ask our AI friend of what good sign-offs would be, and see if it comes up with any. But it'd be nice if we had some others out there from other people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it
yeah,
would
let's do it.
actually.
Let's
Yeah,
do the
so
competition.
please,
That'll give me something to go and design as well. I'll go and
yeah,
design
if you're listening,
a podcast
if you
trophy.
are listening, yeah, please do send some possible new sign-offs. I think there needs to be some humor in it again.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
doesn't
I,
need
I
to be
wouldn't,
serious.
yeah.
We're not
Oh,
serious.
and thanks ever so much. See you next week. He's not going to cut any ice with us, I'm afraid.
No, we're not here for that. If you listen to the podcast, that's not what we're about.
No, absolutely not.
We're not here. We're not here for seriousness. We're here for good times.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So no, yeah, okay. So we'll so I think the premise is come up with a new strap line for us. I'm not going to give you any number of words, but it's got to be 5 seconds, isn't it? Tops. Well, not even 5 seconds. It's literally a couple of seconds worth, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and also actually, just we ought to mention as well, we're going to be putting these out on YouTube as well. So Surveyor Podcast YouTube, we'll get that up and running.
Which we did do originally, didn't
We
we? But
did,
then we
yeah. And
stopped.
then do you know why it stopped? I think it's because we got too busy.
And we probably had about three people watching, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Because they're
we
not,
ought to
let's
do that as
face it,
well.
we're not about it's not these aren't professionally done. They're not professionally edited or anything. We,
But I
you know,
think people will like our background for today.
oh, the background's great. So yeah, you want to be watching YouTube to see
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna go.
very festive background.
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna go with a different background for every podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. I almost put a Santa hat on today as well because I thought we're going to video this. So I did almost put a
I could
Santa
have
hat on,
put
but
my Grinch
yeah,
cardigan
didn't.
on.
You could have put your Grinch jumper on, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we missed a trick there. Anyway,
In
so
fact, yeah, I didn't put a Christmas jumper on either.
no, no, we're obviously still well. Christmas is
Oh,
it's still four
still in
days.
a fog. Still there in a fog. No idea what's going on.
So anyway, so yeah, so this is coming out on Christmas Day. So I think we ought to wish everybody, friends, family, and all that. Hope you have a lovely Christmas and Christmas greetings from us and a happy New Year. Hopefully, no one's working too hard in between times. I have to say we're dirty stop outs. We're not starting back until the 8th.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I kind of sat there with the staff the other day going, "Do you want to work the first week back?" It's kind of like I'm asking permission if we can not.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about doing the similar thing, but too much work to do, and
You're too busy. You're too young.
oh,
That's your problem. You're
I
too
just
too feisty, too go-getter.
I
I'm
know.
just sat there 10 years advance of you, kind of going, could do it another day.
I've got no get up and go right now, John. I'll tell you that. I thought about doing the same, and I thought for me, and then I was like, well, I might just go back on the third, not the second. But the more I look at the amount of work that needs to be done in January, I'm just going to go back, I think, on the second, and I've done with it.
Very good.
Yeah. You know what? I've desperately tried to finish work early for Christmas and failed miserably.
Yeah. Are you still working today? You still got bits and bobs to finish?
Yeah, a few bits to tidy up. Loads of work to do that isn't going to get done, so I'm not going to do it because I can't get it all done. So I'm just going to
Don't
make
sweat it, mate.
peace
Yeah.
with that and
Yeah.
just get the bits that I have to do today done, and then finish for Christmas. And lead into the obviously a few days before Christmas Day and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to the break really.
Yeah. I think
When people are listening to this, if they're listening to it over Christmas, I will be eating and drinking
very good. Very
and
good.
not doing a lot else.
I think that's very, very important. And yeah. And so well, I think we're done, aren't we?
I think we're probably done. We could ramble and ramble, but I
We
think
could
we're
go on.
probably
There's plenty more things we could talk about, but I think that's for our agenda for 2024. So, on a closing note, then, just from both of us, I think wish you all a very happy Christmas, as I've already done earlier. But just to remind you that we did
yeah.
say that.
Merry Christmas,
And
everybody.
a happy New Year as well. And hopefully, you have a fantastic time with friends and family. And we look forward to catching up with you all, whether it be face to
Absolutely.
face or virtually or
And
through the podcast.
yeah, and that's a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from me to everybody. But also one final thing, as we always with tradition used to do anyway, and not our close off yet, but we always used to ask for ideas or anybody wanted a
Yeah,
podcast topics and things like
yeah,
that. That still stands. If you want to suggest ideas and things, we're going to put a program together for the
yeah.
next year. But if there's anything that you want to topic on, Building Safety Act or something really dull like that, or something more
Or
fun,
even if you want to come on the podcast.
or you want to come on the podcast because you want to tell your story and you've got an interesting story,
Yeah,
or
we're
or,
always
or
interested in
otherwise.
that.
As always, a reminder: this podcast is open. It's all about surveyors, the person behind the surveyor, just to demonstrate that we aren't all boring technical folk. We are also quite interesting people.
I'm a little bit boring technical.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, but not all the time.
Not all of the time,
Yeah. Yeah, give me a good
just
Excel
some of the
spreadsheet and
time.
I'll disappear into a darkened room for many hours. So talk sorry, I know we're closing off, but mad. I caught on an advert the other day. There was a Microsoft Excel competition that people were in a stadium watching people write spreadsheets.
No,
I kid you not.
no.
I kid you not, I'm going to leave you with that one. It was like, I when I saw it, it was like, what? And a guy from
Here's a
Australia
tip.
won the competition.
Here's a tip for people listening. Don't bother going and looking at that. It's boring.
Yeah, go and Google Can-Ams because they're awesome.
Yeah, Can-Am Striker. Go and have a look
Can-Am
at that.
Riker,
That
yeah.
that does look fun, to be fair, but ignore the spreadsheet competition because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is not a thing. It should never be encouraged as a thing.
I'm mad. I'm absolutely couldn't believe it when I saw it. I mean, I
Absolute.
understand the whole online virtual gaming and going and watch people playing gaming,
I can
but
kind of get that, but watching
yeah,
somebody design a spreadsheet,
yeah,
come on,
yeah, it was, yeah, it was,
come
it
on.
was
I tell you
unbelievable.
what, there's a few QSs out there thinking they might have a second career here, thinking, way up,
Hey, up, that'd be something to do over
hey
Christmas.
up, I can design a great spreadsheet. Right, but
Excuse me.
anyway, don't
Right,
don't don't do that. And we're
on that
completely
gem.
on that gem. We shall bring this to a close.
Yeah,
And we will you'll hear from us in 2024.
indeed. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year, and we wish you all the best. Big hugs from us, and thanks for listening. And yeah, lots of fun in 2024. Cheers,
And
guys.
are we going to do for one last time for the old hurrah for the
I'm
old
going to leave
sign
it
off?
to you, mate. As always, James. What should we be telling everyone?
Well, I always get this wrong, John, because you normally lead on it and I finish it, you see.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that for you. And don't forget, everybody. Don't forget to wash your hands, wash your face, and
And don't lick any strangers.
any strangers. I still like it. I don't want to get rid of it.
No, okay, well, we'll see.
All right, guys. Take care. Nice talking to you all.
Bye,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye. Hello there, and thank you for joining us for our latest episode of the SurveYOUR podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to subscribe at all your favourite podcast providers: Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and so on. Also on Twitter and Instagram at SurvPod, that's SurvPod. You can also get us on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the little bell. It tells you when we post our latest content, and on our webpage, survepod.com. Don't forget to leave us your reviews, comments, suggestions, and of course any questions. And finally, if you want to come along, join us at a future episode of the SurveYOUR podcast, send us an email to survepod@gmail.com. If you like what you see and hear, tell your friends. Let's put surveying on the map. Stay safe, wash your hands, and don't lick any strangers. Bye-bye for now. The SurveYOUR podcast is a copyright Deliver and Invise Limited production. We suggest you come up with your own ideas and not copy ours. Thank you. Catch you again soon. Bye-bye.